And so we'll just start with 30 seconds of jumping jacks. So hopefully you found your spot, and we'll go right into jumping jacks. Ready, set, go. All right, so that's 30 seconds. Then we're gonna take a wide stance, and we're gonna take your hands out to the side, and you're gonna go left hand down to right toe, and your left hand, left toe, sorry about that, and your right hand reaches up to the sky, and then just kind of come back to standing. We'll switch to the other side. And so you're kind of like sending your hips back towards the same arm that's reaching up at the sky. And we'll just do like 2 more of these. And then we're gonna do some sit-ups. And we'll just go into about 30 seconds of sit-ups. Ready, set, go. All right, and we'll rest a second, and then we're gonna stand back up, and we'll do some more windmills. So taking that wide stance, arms wide, and then sending your hips back, keeping your legs mostly straight, slightly bent, and then we'll do the same on the other side. All right, just like 2 more. All right, and so we're gonna do 2 more rounds. And what we're gonna do is like 30 seconds at each activity. So it'll be jumping jacks for 30 seconds, windmills for 30 seconds, sit-ups for 30 seconds, windmills for 30 seconds. And we'll do 2 more rounds. Ready? Starting with jumping jacks, set, go. Three, 2, 1, windmills. If it's easier for you to kind of open up your toe in the direction that you're leaning, that's totally cool. You may find it's a little easier to open up your hips if you open your toe up a little bit. Three, 2, 1, sit-ups. Just because you had to get down and stand back up again, I guess. 20 more seconds. Three, 2, 1, windmills. Three, 2, 1, jumping jacks. They're gonna go right into round 2. 1 sit-ups. Just 1 minute left of our little warm-up. Windmills. And on this set of windmills, really focus on your shoulders a little bit. Bring your shoulder blades down and back, even as you reach up to the sky, keeping that shoulder blade tucked down and back. Getting one arm stacked, your wrist over your shoulder when you're up in the air. Three, 2, 1. Rest. Grab your sip of your water. I left mine. All right, and for the next just like 10 minutes or so, we're gonna practice Turkish get-ups again. Oh, my Zeppelin flag, I think, is like flying in the way. Okay, so we're gonna start without your item or anything. And again, we're just gonna practice Turkish get-ups. And so what you need is a little bit of space. And you should be able to kind of have your arms and your legs spread apart, spread out. Can y'all see me okay? And so we're gonna start, I feel like I often forget which way it starts, yeah. So we're gonna have, if your right knee is up, your right arm is up. And so your foot is gonna be on the ground, your right foot, and your right arm is gonna be straight up in the air. And you're gonna pretend like you're punching up into the sky. And then you're gonna take your left elbow and you're gonna push really hard into the ground on that left side. So you're doing like a little bit of a sit up and you're leaning on your left elbow. And then you're gonna push all the way into your hand. And so now you're kind of seated and we're still pushing the sky up with your right fist. From here, you're gonna put your weight in your right foot and your left hand and pop your hips up into the air. And then now you can swoop your leg through that space you've created and put your knee down where your butt was. And then from here, you can come all the way up into kneeling. And then your hips are gonna be open a little bit because again, we created a lot of space. So you're gonna wanna close that angle of your hips so that your knee is facing the same way as your hips. And then you're gonna stand up. And then from here, we'll lunge back. That left leg lunges back. And then your right leg opens up. And your left hand comes straight down in front of you so that now you have a tripod with your right hand, your right foot, left hand, right foot, left knee. And then you're gonna put your weight in your right foot and your left hand again so that you can hover that left knee and then pop your butt down as you push your leg through. And then from there, you're gonna come down onto your elbow and then all the way back onto your shoulder. Okay, now the sky is so heavy, you're gonna hold up with both hands. Then you're gonna put it in your other hand and your left hand before you bring your right hand down. Make sure it's secure up there. Put your right leg straight, left leg comes up. We're gonna take our right shoulder and really dig it into the ground. So we're gonna come up into this half sit-up sort of position and then all the way up onto your hand. Again, pushing up into the sky. Weight goes in your right hand and your left foot. Your butt comes up and your knee goes where your butt was. And then you're gonna sit up. Again, we gotta close the angle of our hips here and then stand. Lunging back with your right leg, opening up your left knee. Hand comes straight down. Again, really important that you're not trying to lean back, especially once we add weight here. So you've created this nice little triangle with your left foot, right knee, right hand. Weight in your right hand and in your left foot. Send that leg through, butt down, elbow down, shoulder down. And so we're gonna do a couple more and I'm gonna speed it up a little bit. Now you can try something that you have like sitting around that you wanna try as your item. I'm gonna try my ab mat. And you're gonna try to just hold it like a pizza, flat, and have like balance it on your hand as you do these reps. So right foot's on the ground, my pizza's in my right hand, and I'm gonna do that. Digging my left elbow in, coming up into this half crunch, all the way up into your hand. Hips come up, knee goes down, and then you're gonna come all the way up into this kneeling position. Make sure your knees and your hips are in line, and then come to standing. And then we'll lunge back again. Open up that angle with your hips. Allow your hand to come straight down. And then the weight goes in your right foot and your left hand so that you can hover that knee as you sit your butt down, elbow down, all the way back down. And then again, either bring down your item and then switch hands down here on the ground before you put it back up again, or switch with two hands because you're holding it over a lot of really important stuff, including your face. And you don't want to drop anything on your face. So get two hands on it when you're switching, make sure it's stable there, then bring your hand down. Swoopsie. Watch out for stuff around you. And switch your legs so that your left foot is on the ground as well. And then we're going to dig that elbow into the ground, come up into that crunch, all the way up onto your hand. Pushing the ground down with your hand and your foot so that your hips can pop up and your knee can come through where your butt was. Close that angle of your hips. Come up to standing. And then lunging back again, opening up your hips, hand down, foot through, all the way back down. So if you're feeling it, try upping the ante a little bit more, and maybe you have like a weight that you want to try to use. If you have a kettlebell, rest, the kettlebell is going to rest in that spot on your forearm where you might be developing a nice little bruise from the kettlebell, always resting there, but try to keep it in that position as you're doing these if that's the item that you're using. A dumbbell, you can just hold it like this. And anything else that you're holding, just try to balance it in whatever way makes sense for you. And we'll do a couple more reps just to get a little bit more practice. And I'll speed it up a little bit this time. So I'm going to start on the right side. My right foot's up, digging my elbow in, big sit up all the way up to your hand, hips come up, knee replaces butt, coming up into kneeling. Make sure you balance out your angle of your hips before you come to standing, lunging back, opening up your hips, hand comes down, butt comes through, elbow down, shoulder down. Switch hands, use two hands, make sure it's really safe up there before you bring that second hand down. Left hand, left foot, big sit up, hips up, knee down, come up to kneeling, close that angle of your hips, come to standing, back into the lunge, open up your hips, hand comes down in front of you, kick through, butt down, elbow, shoulder. And so you can keep alternating through those for the next 2 minutes, 2 more minutes to just practice on TGUs. And we're going to be also doing them for the next part in the workout too. So don't feel like you have to do like 100 right now in your 2 minutes, but this is just a chance to keep practicing. And so also I think if there's been any like sticking points for anyone or any questions about how it's going, now would be a good time to holler at me. Yeah, people are moving good. It looks great. All right, so this will actually be a nice workout to do while you're kind of watching something else, because we're going to do every minute on the minute for 30 minutes. And we're going to just crank through each of the minutes. And each minute, the idea is that you try to repeat the same amount of reps for that given minute of the previous round. So there's going to be 5 minutes that we rotate through for 6 rounds. And you're going to try to do the same-ish amount of stuff each time. So you're kind of pacing yourself as you go. The first minute is going to be kind of a new movement for us. So I'll just go over it really quick. You're gonna need your item, and the item is gonna go from the ground to up overhead, or just to your shoulders if you don't have the space to go overhead. And so you're gonna be using your hips, setting your chest up and pulling height, leading with your elbow, keeping the item close to you, and then just like punching up overhead, but starting with it on the ground. And so everyone just go ahead and like try a couple of those. Nice. And again, if you're using a kettlebell, it's going to be a little bit trickier with the technique of trying to spin the kettlebell so that it lands on that forearm as you're punching through. And if you find that it's really slamming on your hand, try not pulling it as hard. Try only pulling it enough so that you can slip your hand through and punch kind of in that same moment so that it's not really flipping over. That's tough with the kettlebells. All right, and so what we're gonna do is we're gonna add a little up down to that. And so the up down is like the burpee, but when you just go into a plank at the bottom, and then you're gonna come up with the weight and punch the sky. So your hand is gonna be on the dumbbell or next to it. It doesn't have to be. I just like to have my hand on it when you do your up down, and then as you come up, you're gonna just hoist that dumbbell up to your shoulder or the sky, and then you'll switch it to the other hand, drop into that plank, and then pull up and punch the sky. And it's really gonna help you if you bend your knees a lot as you do this, rather than trying to kind of round your back and pick it up like this every time, especially when you're not even holding the weight and you're just dropping down into your up down kind of like this, right? So really try to bend your knees so that you can be strong through your core as you're doing these movements. Questions about that part? Okay, I'm gonna go over the rest of the movements. So then the next minute is gonna be a side plank, and we're gonna hold a side plank for 30 seconds. Low plank or high plank, either way is fine. And then you're gonna do 30 seconds threading the needle on that same side. So twisting your arm through and then coming up. And so the second minute will be all on the right side for our side planks. And then for the third minute, you're gonna grab your item again and you're just gonna hold it to your chest, and we're gonna do some lunge steps. And again, the idea would be maybe try to do 20 every single round. So it doesn't need to be like, oh my God, go and get like 500 in this first round, and then by the last round you can only do 10. So try to pick a number that you can just cruise through and kind of just move and breathe through all these movements. The fourth minute is gonna be the other side of our side plank, plus threading the needle. And then the fifth minute is gonna be those alternating Turkish get-ups. So you'll have 1 minute to do a Turkish get-up on your right, a Turkish get-up on your left. And if it kind of takes you a whole minute to figure out one Turkish get-up, sometimes it takes me a whole minute to do a Turkish get-up, you can just do the right side 1 minute, and then the next round do the left side. It's totally fine. And we'll go 6 rounds, or 30 minutes, or whenever you have to go. And what did I forget? I feel like I missed something. Oh, China's writing something. Or she's giving us a storm update, maybe. Woo! Okay, great. Love it. The update is woo. Storm's up by a lot, so that's good. And I'll be guiding us through all the movements and stuff, so hopefully you don't have to think too much, as you can just watch and move along. I gotta take off one of my sweatshirts though before we start. Okay. So it starts with those up, down, plus, that thing's called a devil's press when you pick it up from the ground up to overhead. I don't really know why, but. Okay. Ready? Okay, we'll start in 3, 2, 1, go. So up, down, and then all the way up overhead. And then to the other side. Up, down. 15 more seconds. Three, two, one. Side plank. That said, I was switching my dumbbell on the way down and like after I did my up down, so I was doing like the same arm a bunch of times without really recognizing it. Weird stuff happens. 3, 2, 1. We're gonna add that. Thread the needle. Three, 2, 1. Lunge steps. And just with that item in the front rack. Or you can hold it like this if you want to, just pinning it to your chest any way you like. Halfway. More seconds. Three, 2, 1. We'll go to the other side. Three, 2, 1. Add the needle. Three, 2, 1. And so now it's the Turkish get-ups. One on your right, one on your left. As many times as you can. Careful when you're switching. Got 20 more seconds. Seconds. And if you're not quite evened out, you can fix it on the next round, or it's also not really that big of a deal. Okay, here we go. Round 2. 3, 2, 1, go! 15 more seconds. 3, 2, 1. Side plank. Three, 2, 1. Thread the needle. All right, 3, 2, 1. Lunges. Seconds. Ten more seconds. 3, 2, 1. Other side. Three, 2, 1. Thread the needle. Three, 2, 1. Turkish get-ups, and if you remember, pick up on the side you left off on. And as always, be careful when you switch. More seconds. 3, 2, 1. Round number 3. 1, side plank. 3, 2, 1, needle thread. Three, 2, 1, lunges. Ten more seconds. 3, 2, 1, side plank. Three, 2, 1. Thread the needle. Three, 2, 1. Turkish get-ups. Picking up where you left off. Ten more seconds. All right. 3, 2, 1. Round number something. 4, I think. Ten seconds. 3, 2, 2, 1. Thread the needle. Three, 2, 1. Lunges. Ten more seconds. Three, 2, 1. Side plank. Three, 2, 1. Needle threading. Three, 2, 1. Turkish get-ups. Still being careful when you switch, especially once you start to get tired. Protect your face. More seconds. All right, 3, 2, 1. Round 5. Oh my gosh, we've been going for 20 minutes. 2 more rounds. Are you barking at me? That's rude. 10 more seconds. 3, 2, 1. Side plank. Three, 2, 1. Thread the needle. Three, 2, 1, lunge. Ten more seconds. 3, 2, 1. Other side. Three, 2, 1. Thread the needle. All right, 3, 2, 1. Turkish get-ups. Whoop. Fifteen more seconds. Oh my gosh, last round coming up in 3, 2, 1. Last set. More seconds. All right, ready, set, side plank. Bye. Three, 2, 1. Thread the needle. Three, 2, 1, lunges. It's just me, Spike. You want to come do lunges? 10 more seconds. 3, 2, 1. Side plank. Three, 2, 1. Thread the needle. Three, 2, 1. Turkish get-ups. Last minute of workout. Still be careful. Fifteen seconds left. Three, 2, 1. Done.